The question I get asked the most is, how do I take generative AI and actually transform my business with it? I'm going to answer that question right now. As I mentioned, this is the question that I get asked the most, and it's a very hard one to answer. And that's because we work with a lot of different companies, and each one has a very unique approach to transforming their particular business to using generative AI. So the best way to explain it is through an analogy. Think of generative AI as just a really smart person. How do you take that really smart person and implement him inside of your company to make a big, substantial change? Now, there's two important caveats though. This person can only work remote. The other thing is that they only primarily communicate via text. So something like moving a mouse cursor around is really hard for them. The first approach most people would take is say, well, let me pair people inside of my company with this person so that they can start to offload some of the work onto them. You could think of this as saying, hey, can you come up with like 20 headlines for something for me? And it makes that person inside of your company more efficient. Most people get that part of it, that you can use generative AI in that way. But then this is where it gets more difficult. How do I make my business more efficient? You have to start looking at all of your processes inside of your company and then figure out, how can I make those processes be controlled by text? Once you figure that out, then you can plug your really smart person in and he can start controlling all of those things for you. Luckily, most modern day software, most modern day things that you can touch on a computer use APIs. That really smart person, they can communicate that way. So as long as you can start to figure out a path for all of your processes to be controlled either via API or code, now generative AI can start doing all of that work for you. The last piece of it is, now that really smart person you add into your company, at first they don't know anything about your company. But over time, you start to train them, and then they know more about you. So those are the things that we do. We come in, we help you figure out what are your processes, how do you make them so they can be controlled by text, plug in generative AI, and then start training generative AI to know your business better than you do.